Hello everyone! Today, I'm talking about the 2022 movie titled X. The film opens with a local sheriff investigating a mass murder at an elderly couple's home. There are bodies lying outside the house and within. Heading down to the basement, the officer is horrified by what he finds. The story takes us back 24 hours. We meet Maxine, an adult film actress. Wayne enters the dressing room and tells her to follow him. The crew boards a van, heading to a remote farm to shoot their movie. They're leaving Houston because the taxes there are too high. After finding a suitable spot, Wayne pulls off the road. While Wayne strikes a deal with the farm owner, Jackson and Bobby Lynn start to get close. Lorraine notes that this wasn't the kind of movie she expected to be making. Howard, the owner, leads them to the house, though he admits he doesn't like their look. He warns them to keep it quiet so his wife doesn't notice. Once he's gone, Lorraine asks if Howard knows what they're filming. Wayne says it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Watching the old man drive away, the crew begins filming their masterpiece, The Farmer's Daughter. Maxine goes outside for a smoke and notices a nearby lake. She goes for a swim, unaware that Howard's wife, Pearl, is watching her. Back at their makeshift studio, Jackson flexes his biceps for the camera. Bobby Lynn tells him not to get cocky, as the scene's success depends on her acting. She begins to perform her lines, proving she can carry the scene alone. After her swim, Maxine heads to the dock. An alligator starts swimming toward her, but the predator isn't fast enough to catch her. Meanwhile, filming continues. The crew records the setup for the scenes they already shot. Returning from the lake, Maxine spots an old woman at the main house. She follows her inside and finds a mountain of dirty dishes in the kitchen. Pearl appears behind her and offers Maxine some lemonade. Maxine is in a hurry to get back to filming, so she drinks it quickly. Pearl leads Maxine to a wall covered in old photos. The old woman says she was once young and beautiful, a woman for whom men went to war. While Maxine is distracted, Pearl touches her, then says it'll be their secret as Howard drives up. Once the old man is inside, Maxine runs back and meets Wayne, who tells her to hurry before they lose the sun. The team moves to the barn, where Maxine plays the farmer's youngest daughter. Jackson enters the scene, playing a man asking the father for a ride to town. Maxine's character offers to help him instead. They film in the barn while the old woman watches, wearing makeup to look like Maxine. Back home, Pearl tries to approach Howard, but he refuses due to his weak heart. Later, Lorraine asks Wayne how he handles Maxine filming explicit scenes. They both explain that it's just work, and they're simply playing roles. Lorraine admits that despite her initial hesitation, she liked what she saw. She expresses a desire to actually be in the film. However, her boyfriend RJ, the cameraman, is strictly against it. Wayne takes RJ aside, arguing that if Lorraine doesn't do it here, she'll do it elsewhere because she's serious about it. He bluntly tells RJ that there are no good girls in this house. The guy returns, reluctantly filming a scene with Lorraine and Jackson. At night, while the others sleep, RJ decides to leave, taking the van with him. But his path is blocked by the old woman. Pearl approaches him, tries to hug him, and then attempts to kiss him. When he rejects her, the old woman stabs RJ in the neck. Waking up later, Lorraine realizes her boyfriend is missing. She goes outside, and Wayne follows her. They assume he just stepped away since the van is still there. Lorraine feels guilty and asks Wayne to help her find him. Passing the main house, she meets Howard, who says he's also looking for his wife. Meanwhile, Wayne enters the barn, searching for RJ. He accidentally steps on a nail, then notices movement behind a partition. Limping, Wayne approaches the wall to peek through a crack. Meanwhile, Howard asks Lorraine to get a lantern from the basement so they can find Pearl, who is currently in the barn hiding Wayne's body. After finding the lantern, Lorraine tries to leave but finds herself locked in. She goes back down and discovers the body of a man recently killed by the couple. Woken by the noise, Jackson heads to the kitchen. As he drinks some milk, he notices a flashlight outside. On the porch, Jackson meets Howard, who is armed with a shotgun, claiming there's a gator in the lake. Jackson goes to help him, while Pearl sneaks into Maxine's room. The old woman undresses and lies down next to the sleeping girl. Searching for Pearl, Jackson finds the dead man's car submerged in the lake, but he keeps quiet. Howard says they were once visited by another man who seduced his wife. Then he suddenly shoots Jackson. Maxine wakes up to find Pearl staring at her. Terrified, she screams, bringing Bobby Lynn running, only to meet the naked old woman at the door. Looking for the others, Bobby Lynn finds Pearl standing on the dock. The girl tries to help her, but Pearl spits back that she doesn't need help from a slut. The old woman pushes Bobby Lynn into the lake, where she is attacked by the alligator. After washing off the blood, Maxine searches for her friends and sees the old couple returning. Howard and Pearl search the rooms but can't find Maxine. Sitting on the bed, Pearl complains about her life. Howard says he can't be intimate with her because he's afraid his heart will fail. The old woman insists it'll be fine and starts to undress. Maxine watches them from under the bed. While the couple is distracted, the girl crawls out and heads for the van. Hearing Lorraine scream, Maxine grabs a revolver from the van and returns to the house. Maxine frees her, but a panicked Lorraine runs outside, where she is shot by Howard. Hiding, Maxine overhears the couple planning to frame the deaths as self-defense. They decide that if no one comes looking, they'll dump the bodies in the lake. Howard drags Lorraine's body inside, but she suddenly makes a sound, causing the old man's heart to stop. Seeing her chance, Maxine points her gun at Pearl and demands the truck keys. She takes them and tries to shoot Pearl, but the revolver is empty. The old woman grabs Howard's shotgun and fires. The recoil throws her out onto the porch. Maxine is unharmed because Pearl missed. As Maxine leaves, the old woman begs for help, saying her hip is broken. Maxine starts the truck, drives over the old woman's head, and escapes. The next morning, police are at the farm investigating the scene. A preacher appears on TV, calling Maxine his daughter who was stolen by perverts. Meanwhile, an officer brings the movie camera to the sheriff. Looking at the gruesome scene, the sheriff remarks that the footage must be one hell of a horror movie. And that's where the film ends. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.